audio is actually good. Greetings, greetings. Bella Wagwan Mama. Let me know how my audio is sounding because we have a very powerful build to get into tonight. Greetings, greetings, greetings and welcome. Greetings and welcome. What a go on? What a go on? So we're actually on IG Live and YouTube Live too at the same time. Welcome to the healing space. If this is your first time here, I recommend that you stay because at the end of this build, you're gonna leave with something very intrinsic that you can, apply to your life to unveil a greater version of yourself. I know that the internet has a lot of stuff on the internet, so you can doom scroll for a long time, and get that constant dopamine. But at the end of the day or the end of the night, what did you learn? Did you learn anything of value that can allow you to become a greater version? No. So stay within the spaces that are adding value to your life, giving you some wisdom and some knowledge. All right. Mm-hmm. Greetings and wholeness, everyone. I'm glad that you're here joining me tonight. I just need to know if this will be recorded. Yes, so it's being recorded right now on IG Live. It's also being recorded on my camera, and I'm also YouTube Live at the same time. So three sources of recording, you're good. Okay, three sources of recording, you're good. I mean, definitely it's gonna be available for you to see it again. So don't worry. Okay, don't worry. Let's just give everybody else some more time to tap in. I haven't been live in quite a minute, and I haven't been posting much either. I'm trying to reset my algorithm to get out of the shadow banning. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, so I was like, you know what? Let me just not go live for a minute, not post, and see if I can somewhat get around the shadow banning. But let's see. Hmm. I say it's been 5 days. I know, I know, I know. Let me check the comment section real quick. What to eat for higher cleansing? That's gonna be grapes, mama. That white willow bark works great. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. In fact, do you guys know that aspirins are actually made from white willow bark? That's how amazing the white willow bark is, that aspirins are made from it. So you can only imagine when you're using the original source. Obviously, it's going to be more stronger. It is going to be more beneficial. It is going to be more harmonic to your body. And not only will it neutralize the pain or remove the inflammation, okay, but it also work in different areas of the body too. Because you see, the herbs are multifaceted. They're not just for one specific thing just because they can help that specific thing, if you get what I'm saying, right? They have a wider range of different values to the body. So yes, the white willow bark works amazing. And I've been telling people for a long time that you want to basically you want to build your medicinal cabinet where you have something that remove inflammation. You have something that cleanse out your lungs just in case, right? You have something that boosts your immune system. You got something that unclogs your intestines. So I'm saying you got something to build up your iron levels in case your iron levels tend to fall. So these are like mandatory things for you to have in your kitchen. Because remember, your kitchen is like it's a complementary section to your health and your life force energy. And life without health is truly really not living. We've talked about this over the years. You see, if you're living and you're not healthy, then you're not really living, you're suffering, right? So if you claim that you have a kitchen and you don't really have the things in there to complement your body on a higher level, then your kitchen is not complete. So I'm not saying for you to go out there and try to be a herbalist like me, especially if that's not your gift, but um, have certain level of general knowledge about what your body needs, and have those corresponding solution inside of your medicinal cabinet just in case you know what to get, you know what to use. Because remember, we're talking about this is ancestral wisdom. Primitive people, or even to say indigenous people, or even people who live in Africa, in the Amazon rainforest, in various different cultures, they're not getting a headache and got a stomach ache and run into a pharmacy. You see, pharmacies are um modern day construction where they do sorcery. Obviously, you know that drugs are a form of sorcery. It is a form of alchemy, right? And that's why most of the time, once you get on some drugs, you never get off for the rest of your life, right? You become a slave to it, and your body become dependent on it because it destroy other vital functions of the body. So you end up taking a drug for one issue, and then after a couple of months you having to take another drug for an extra issue that the first drug caused, and then the second drug that you're taking for the first drug now creates another problem that you have to take a third drug, and it becomes like a constant chain reaction. And so most people who get on drugs never get off, you see, and that's not normal. So that is a part of the whole sorcery. Pharmacy, pharmakia equates to sorcery. So none of this is natural. It doesn't reflect in nature at all, or in any ancient civilization, any ancestors, any primitive people. This is some new age shit, new age bullshit. So I realized that we've been cut off from ancestral wisdom and the ancient knowledge that we've survived on for thousands of years. And that's why I'm here with you today. I'm here with you just about most of the time that I can be here with you so that we can tap back into some of this deep ancestral wisdom and learn about the healing principles and how to apply them and how to reclaim back our health, because we've lose a substantial level of our health just by our day-to-day life of what we consume and what we believe. And we come into the world and we see the world kind of like running on a certain patterns, and we come into the world, or we come into society, and we also start to take on those patterns too. So everybody just doing what everybody else is doing and call it normal. I remember the other day I was listening to something, and they're like, yo, do you know that inside of a cult, right, everybody end up operating on the same wavelength of consciousness and belief. And so when ev- when and so when okay, when a large group of people end up conforming to the same belief, even if it's something that's wrong or dangerous to other people, because they all believe it, it doesn't, like, they will never, like, they have no reflection that what they're doing is wrong because they all believe in what they're doing is the right thing to do. So there's nobody who's to oppose anything, right? Because it's like the mass belief of everybody within that room, or within that organization or within that cult all agrees that this is the right thing to do. And so it basically overrides and influence everybody else's mind. And even the people who join in later on, they come in and they just conform to the same beliefs again. So this is only like a small nucleus, or let's just say the microcosm to a macrocosm, right? So it's the same thing about society. You come into the world and they're like, oh, this is what you need to believe in. Here's a religion. These are the kind of foods that you need to consume because you need protein. See, you don't question anything, you just believe it, because when you look around, you see everybody else also eating the same thing. So it becomes like it's reaffirming through a feedback loop to your mind that, hey, this is real. Hey, this is reality. Because when you go outside and you look at your next door neighbor is eating the same foods that your mother and your father are cooking in the kitchen, right? And when you go to school and you go to the cafeteria, everybody's in there eating the very same food that you also eat at home. Then you turn the television on and you see everybody eating the same food. You're like, okay, this is real. This is the real food. You turn the TV on to watch a movie, and inside of the movie at the dinner table, They're eating the very same food. Do you see how that reaffirmed to your consciousness that this is real and this is right? You see, you will never think that nothing is wrong because everybody around you is conforming to that same belief. So you will never question anything at all. You'll always think that, hey, this is true and this is right. And this is where a lot of people get mindfuck. Because I'm trying to tell you that every single thing that you've been doing up until now, that you've believed that is real and it's true, it's all fake. And I listen, I know that this can be hard, like a hard reality for a lot of people to face, especially that you've lived most of your life conforming to these beliefs. They've become the core values that you built your consciousness on. You build your whole life revolving around these fake concepts and these fake beliefs, which are just inherited beliefs. And we talked a lot about inherited beliefs. Keep in mind all the things that you believe right now. You believe that is true only because you were told that is true, and you never looked any further. So you don't have any kind of a confirmation of the things that you believe. Aside from that, that's what the world have told you to believe in. You didn't have your own experience at all. Please tell me, when did you have your own experience? When did you have your own epiphany? Did you come to your own discovery? Did you come to a realization of these things upon your own? Did you get a download from source? Did God tell you? Did you get any confirmation from your inner world that hey, this is right? Did you get any intuitive affirmation around these things that you believe? No. You're just living and believing in all of it because that's what they told you. That's what your parents told you too. And your auntie, your uncle, your best friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, everybody else around you and in society, they all conform to the same belief. And so in your mind, you will never think that something is wrong or something is off. This is what the matrix is. Okay? This is what the matrix is. So when you're watching the movie and Morpheus says to Neo, it is the world that have been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. This is exactly what he means. It's the world that have been pulled over your eyes. You see, because you're perceiving the world and everything that everybody's conforming to. That's the illusion that's being pulled over your eyes because you see everybody doing the same thing. And so you start to think that this is all normal and this is real and this is the right thing to do. You see? So you're living to the patterns of the world that have been given to you. You're not living life according to your own soul's blueprint. And as you can tell, most people don't even live in accordance with nature. I want you to think about this on a deeper level, right? You don't live in accordance with nature at all. The very source that's giving you the breath to be alive right now. As you're on IG live with me, as you're on YouTube live with me, right? You're breathing. So this oxygen and this air that's keeping you alive to be here with me within the space right now, where's it coming from? It's coming from the plant kingdom. It's coming from the trees. So energetically, the trees are like your parents because you're dependent upon them for life source energy. So we know that the closest expression to God, physical expression to God is nature, right? Right? The closest expression, physical expression to God is nature. This is not a theory. This is not a concept. Okay? This is facts that you can perceive through your own sense of knowing and observation. Let me ask you a question. Isn't the closest expression of God that you have here on earth Mother Nature? Hello? Exactly. Right? So, 'cause I want you to gain an understanding of where we're going right now. Because we need to make sense of the nonsense. Okay, we need to make sense of the nonsense, right? So if nature is the closest physical expression that we have to God, if you're trying to get closer to God, right, as what you claim through participating in various religions, okay, because that's the whole ideology behind religions, right? Is that people's going to come together and they're going to worship God to get closer to God, okay? How is it that y'all are not in alignment with nature? Now, this is not me going up against religion or trying to turn you from religion. That's your own choice. That's your own soul. I'm just here to get you to think, connect the dots, and get you to see the illusion. So we know that nature is the closest expression to God because that's where you're getting life force energy from. Okay. And if you're part of a religion claiming that you're trying to get closer to God, then why aren't you close to nature? Why aren't you living in alignment with nature? So when we flip open the Bible, right? We flip open the Bible and the Bible says, I give you seed and fruits for food. How is that y'all are not eating the fruits that the Bible told you to eat? See, so now you're disobeying commandment, yet you're going to church every day. On top of that, you eat bacons in the morning, you eat swine. But when I bust open the Bible, right? When I bust open the Bible, it says God casted the demons inside of the swines. Hello? So you're eating bacon, like, like bacon, egg, and cheese. Yeah, I like to eat a lot of bacon with eggs. Like, I don't know how you guys do it, right? Y'all just don't give a fuck about yourself. Honestly, if you can put bacon and eggs in your body at once together, you don't give a fuck about your arteries or your blood vessel. That's why so many of y'all have high blood pressure and high cholesterol because you're clogging up the blood vessels. The blood can't pass through no more. So yes, if you eat bacon and eggs together, you don't give a fuck about your blood vessel. Okay, that's the highest level of self hate I've ever seen. But at the end of the day, you are submerged into the illusion. So I have to remind myself to understand that hey, this person is self-sabotaging, but also is just out of ignorance. And that's why the Bible says again, the lack of knowledge, my people perish. Right? So it's like, okay, you're eating the very swines that God casted the demons in. Now we understand that the Bible is allegorical as well, but we'll get into that into another live, right? But also, you don't eat the natural food. So you see, you claim to be worshiping God, but the closest physical expression to God, which is nature, you don't live in alignment with it. Most of you guys, you wear shoes on your feet every single day. You wear shoes on your feet every single day. Do you know that whenever somebody see me outside walking barefoot on the ground, they think it's nasty? Like, yo, put some shoes on. People really think that the dirt carry germs and it's nasty. Like, can you believe this? And this goes to show how indoctrinated people have become and how what's the word? Domesticated that they've become. The fact that you think that walking on the earth with your feet is nasty and it's dirty and that's disgusting. I want you to see how domesticated that you've become. And see, you don't seem to realize you become domesticated over time, slowly and slowly. They remove you from natural foods, they remove you from natural water, right? And then now you just sit in the house, you sit on the couch watching TV as you eat processed food, and you just go to sleep. You're not living real life. Okay, you're living like a caged animals. Why do you think now they got all these high-rise buildings full of apartments? People don't even buy houses no more or build houses no more. They just live in apartments. You come on IG and everybody's showing their apartments and their keys. Like, I'm supposed to be proud of you because I mean, listen, I get it. Everybody wants to have their own space at some point, and that's something to be proud of, especially if you had to work hard to accomplish what you have. But it's like that's not real life. How are you gonna raise kids in an apartment? Go buy a house. You see, you living on top of somebody else and then complaining that the upstairs neighbors are stamping on the floor and they're making too much noise above your head because that's that you're living in an animal cage. Please go to an animal shelter and tell me that that's not the same thing that you're doing. When you live in a high-rise apartment building with people on top of you and people on top of you and people on top of the other person, that's an animal cage. Okay? Boxes on top of boxes. Everybody consuming the same medicated water. Okay? That's not real life living. You're supposed to be living in a house, okay, with a backyard space that you can grow some natural fruits and vegetables, yes. And your kids can go outside and play in the dirt. And you can have trees around you to give you fresh oxygen. But no, everybody want to live into the city in a high-rise building talking about, oh, I live on the 50th floor. I know why you're telling me that, okay? I'm from the jungle. That shit does not impress me. Telling me you live on the 50th floor or telling me you live in a penthouse as if I'm supposed to be proud of you, like you're looking for some kind of clout. You're not gonna get that from me. Okay. I'm not one of these modernized people who worship all this kind of stuff that you guys worship. Okay. I'm about real grounding, building real foundation, real life community, and things that are intrinsic to our growth as a whole. So again, you see, it's the matrix that have been pulled over your eyes. The world, the society, the world of society that have been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. So yeah, you guys don't even live in accordance with nature at all. When you barefoot, okay, when your barefoot touches the ground, you have negatively charged electrons that flows up inside of your body. And guess what it starts to do? It starts to actually dilate your blood vessels. Okay, your blood pressure tends to start to relax. Is it? Any kind of depression that you're in, you feel balance again because you need your grounding. Even your house, where you have all your electrical panels and breaker box, it's all connected to a grounding copper rod outside. I'm an electrician. I can tell you that for sure. So the human body is electric. You need your grounding. Coming online, posting about your Jordan shoes and your designer shoes, you look stupid. Now listen, listen. I know that you look very admirable to other people who worship vanity to that level, to where they're like, oh my god, look at your shoes collection. Like I see people come online, look at my shoes collection, and everybody's there like, oh, I need this, I need that shoes. Like it was so crazy to me when I went to New York, right? So I went to New York, and it was a couple years ago. I don't know if people are still this level of stupid, right? But a couple years ago in New York City, I remember Jordan was releasing like some shoes, some new shoes that was being released. And do you know that it was the winter and people was sleeping outside of the store because they wanted to be the first in line to get to buy the new release? People was literally sleeping outside, put up a whole tent on the floor, snowing, ice and everything outside, cold. Lines of people around the whole block. I could not believe this shit. I was like, no way is this is real. And the other 2 years, they were doing the same thing. That's how delusional people are. Okay? And materialistic, basically, while having no true connection to their own soul or their purpose. And this is also what we talk about. When you don't spend the time to go within yourself and do the inner work and try to figure out what is the purpose as to why you're born, like what did God reincarnate you here now? It has to be a purpose as to why you're born. Everybody has a unique purpose. You see, when you start to live life and you're not aligned with purpose, you tend to look for expression and fulfillment through pleasures, stuff like sex, stuff like attention, okay, basically, and then materials. So sex, attention, and materials, those are corresponding to the three lower chakras. Okay. So when a person lacks substance and purpose, okay, and meaning behind their existence, they start to look for expression and fulfillment through sex, through getting attention, and through material things. Okay. Now, this is not to say that, oh, that's bad or anything. Okay, we're not going to get into the whole good and bad duality kind of thing. It's just an understanding that when you have not cultivated yourself, or when you lack awareness, when you're so externalized or you're so low vibrational, those are the things that's going to bring you excitement. That's why even while we're within the healing space within these live videos, best believe there's a lot of people who come on this live and they just can't stay. They click on the live and they just can't stay within the space because what the vibration is on a whole nother level to where it doesn't bring them excitement, right? They need some kind of drama. Like how people go to the shade room, they have over 50 million followers. That speaks volume. Go to the shade room and look how much followers they got. Over 50 million followers. Now, can you find any information on that page that can actually add some kind of value to your life for you to unveil that greater version of yourself tomorrow and become a greater you? Nothing, not even one post. But it kind of shows you what people are attracted to. Those are low vibrational people. They need gossip. They need drama. They need chaos. They need distortion because of the vibrational frequency that they're on. They find certain materials or certain kind of information magnetizing. Like it gets them super excited. No difference from people who goes to the strip club or go party. They basically pay for a spot into the club to go stand up in one corner, and pay $300-400 for a bottle that costs $40 at the liquor store, right? Just to stand up in a corner into a section and listen to music that they could have just went on Apple Music with the headphones and listened to, just to say that, oh, I went to the party and I had my own section popping bottles. Again, it's all about frequency. Okay. So when you have not cultivated yourself, you remain as a low vibrational entity. Basically, you remain as a low vibrational entity, not even so much as a person because you're still being ruled by your animalistic nature. So definitely you're like an animal. Okay. And if you live your whole entire life within those lower frequency or of a downward spiral, then what end up happening is you die in that frequency. You end up being reincarnated as like an animal. Or if you do happen to get a human body, you repeat the whole process again. So you come back into the world, no memory of your last life. You don't know what happened. Okay. And if you don't go through some kind of cultivation process to raise your energy, you will tend to repeat the same thing. You go to another lifetime being low vibrational again. You see, because you're not seeking to grow and to expand and to raise your energy. You see, you keep being drawn in by this low vibrational material. So we have to really pinpoint and come to an understanding of why we're here. Why do you exist right now? A lot of us right now in this live, you just got here the other day. You either just got here, what, 1970, 1980, 1990, in the 2000 coming up. Okay. I doubt we have anybody here that's born into the 60s. Okay. Well, there's some great elders that follow me too. So, but here's a question that I want you to think about. So you was not here in 1950s, you wasn't here in 1940s, and you was not here in 1930s or 1920s. Where was you at? You say, damn, I don't know. Okay, so you don't know where you was at. You didn't come into the world yet. You was not born yet. But would we say that you were dead? No, right? Because even death is an illusion. We'll get into that at a later aspect of this conversation. Okay. But obviously, you have to exist in one dimensional space before you can travel to another dimensional space, right? So you was not on the earthly plane or the physical plane. So remember, we have multiple different planes of existence. We have the physical plane, cool. We have the mental plane or the mental etheric plane. We have the astral planes, okay? We have the lower astral planes, but let's just stay with the three planes: physical plane, mental plane, and the spiritual plane, or just say that the physical plane, mental plane, and the astral planes. Okay, these are the different variations of planes of existence. So during 1920s, when you wasn't born yet, where your mother didn't met your father yet, or whatever not, you was not on the physical plane. but you're on the spiritual plane because you have to exist in one location before you can travel to another location. You see? So when the whole conception taking place and your mother pushed you out, your parents basically gave you a physical body, right? So your mother used the materials of her body to create your bones, create your skin, create your brain cells and everything, right? And here you are. Now, let me ask you a question. Obviously, you exist before your parents even gave you a name, right? I know right now you're going around with whatever name your parents gave you, and you're like, yo, this is my name, right? But who are you before your parents gave you a name? Obviously, you existed before that. And in fact, for most of us, your parents had multitude of different names that they were thinking about naming you until they've decided on one, right? Yeah. So who were you before your parents gave you a name? Clearly you exist. Clearly you are a being. Now, why did you come here at this time? Is it by accident? Is it because your parents were just out here fucking? I mean that's a part of it too. Like we can look at it from that point of view because as we can tell, there's a lot of people that was moving in lustful energy. They were just wilding outside fucking everybody, and then they end up just getting pregnant. Then some of them end up not knowing who the baby father is, or some just don't wanna, you know, hold up their responsibility because they're like, oh, I wasn't really want a baby, blah blah blah, right? That's one way we can look at it from the physical plane and be like, yo, this baby wasn't even intentional, so it was a mistake. But in a spiritual plane, it's not. Because according to what I've learned, they're saying that when the male and the female organs come together, like the chakras become intertwined, that's what we talk about. Whenever you have sex with people, there's an energetic exchange. Okay, that's why a lot of times y'all be fucking somebody and you wake up the next day, you feel off. You feel like something is wrong. You don't know what's wrong. Something just don't feel right with you. That's the energetic exchange in your aura, right? So anyway, when the male and the female chakras intertwine together, apparently it creates this spark, this bright light on the astral plane, on the spiritual plane. And I went through various occult books, some of the books of the Golden Dawn, um, alchemy, Kabbalah books. I've been through so many different books. The Bhagavad Gita. I went to a lot of ancients and occult esoteric books, and various of them pointing to the very same thing. They're saying whenever the male and the female come together, it creates this bright spark on the spiritual plane or the astral plane, and then other spirits are attracted to the light. I guess that's what they talk about. Even like when you die, they talk about, oh, if you go towards the light, you get reincarnated. So that kind of like intertwines with that as well. So they're saying that once the male and the female come together, a bright light, and then spirits are attracted to that light. And apparently, whoever reaches the light first goes into the light and get reincarnated and come through being born. Now, um, I can't validate this to tell you this is the exact process that goes on. Obviously, I've never seen it myself, or I don't have any memory of seeing it myself. Okay. I'm just going off the various level of knowledge that I've delved into and making the connections, and everything is pointing towards this very same concept. And I'm like, oh, because at the end of the day, you can say, yo, I don't believe that, but how much do you know for you to deny the possibility of anything? You don't even know much about yourself or this world. Most of what you've been taught about the world and these fake concepts is artificial. You see, so you don't even know who you are, where you're at, what the fuck is even going on. For you, it's just getting up tomorrow to go to work, watch TV, have sex, eat processed food, gossip, drama, be entertained, do something for attention, join a fake religion because you don't want the devil to torture you in hell, and then you just die. That's literally the standard blueprint and the level of awareness of the average person. See, they have no deeper insight of life and anything else beyond what they were programmed to believe. So again, how much do you know about this reality for you to deny the possibility of anything? You see, you don't know much. So now I also remind myself of that also when I'm going through various levels of information. Because obviously you're gonna have the logic and the reasoning mind that's gonna try to like, I don't know about this, right? And that's why you have to be able to use your intuition. You gotta learn to use your right brain as well. Okay? You can't not, everything cannot be understood through logics and reasoning. You have to use the other side as well. Pair them together like what we call hemi-syncing. And now you have a deeper insight into everything. So yeah, how much do you know about this world or yourself for you to deny the possibility of anything? I'm a lover of knowledge and information, so I'm willing to delve into various information and try to make sense of it. So basically, what I'm saying is this: you're not here by accident, okay? And to further back up what I'm saying, don't you guys say that God is all knowing, right? You said that God is all knowing, right? So if God is all knowing, then your existence right now, your existence right now is not a coincidence. So you could say that there's a more divine orchestration behind your existence and you being here right now. Now, it is your job to figure out what is the meaning behind you existing right now. That's the whole point that listen. This is the whole point that I keep trying to drive across all these years. We have to always reflect back on this level of knowledge and awareness. You must figure out what is the purpose as to why you were born. Why do you exist in the world right now? Obviously, many people have came into the world, lived their life, die by whatever means, and they're exited back out of the physical reality. And then more people comes in. Even right now, a lot of y'all out there constantly fucking. You're constantly fucking and making a whole bunch of kids and bringing them into the world. So those kids also have a purpose. That's how the universe works. But keep in mind that because you don't know your purpose and you're not living in alignment with your purpose, you don't even have the knowledge to pass on to your children for them to figure out what their purpose is or as to why they exist. You see? So the ancestors actually even warned about that, that you should not be fucking if you've not attained the knowledge of self. Because therefore, you're only creating lost children. And it makes perfect sense. If you're lost, right now, most of y'all, you're completely lost because you don't know who you are. You don't know what your purpose is. You don't know why you exist. Most of y'all don't even care. You don't care as long as you can turn Netflix on and watch a Tyler Perry show later on tonight, right? You don't care as long as you can order pizza slice from Domino Pizza and stop at McDonald's drive-through and then go get some sex and go to sleep and wake up tomorrow and do it again. Most people don't really care. You see what I'm saying? So based on the fact that you're not even knowing who you are, why you exist, the purpose behind your existence, and you are here just fucking making kids, you're lost. So you're just a lost soul that's creating lost children because you don't have the knowledge. You have not attained the knowledge to cultivating your consciousness or your energy to where you can even pass that knowledge on to your kids so that they can develop themselves too. So so another aspect of why society is the way it is because we have a whole bunch of lost people and they all is just out there fucking and they don't care about nothing aside from their gut being full with processed food and their sexual appetite being fulfilled and then they can get attention through whatever means they can and then just a fake religion that promised them that hey you're not going to go to hell and the devil going to torture you. That is all the average person need for them to forfeit their whole entire purpose in life. They never question anything. Take a look around. You can see this within the very same people within your household. Look at your cousins. Look at your mom. Look at your dad. Look at your uncles. Notice that they're not radiating anything extraordinary. It's just normal behavior. Food, money, sex, entertainment of some kind, and a religion that tells them that, hey, you're going to be okay. You know, you're going to go to heaven. You're not going to go to hell with the devil. And that's all there is to their life. 90% of people this plane of existence right now within society are lost people. That's how we talk about do not follow the masses because they're lost. Cultivate your own path moving forward. Purify yourself, mind, body, and spirit. The only way you're going to come into a certain level of awareness or in alignment with your higher self, you must purify your being. You exist on multiple different planes of existence. You exist on a physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane. I need you to purify yourself on all levels of your existence. That's why I've been here this whole time. This was never just about vegan food and versus meat eaters. That's some bullshit. The reason why I go so hard in you cleansing out your temple and start to eat properly because I realize that's where the breach. That's how they breach the human state of consciousness through the foods because they use the food to basically taint the consciousness. Okay? They literally use the food as a means to contaminate your body. Because once they can affect you on a physical plane, it affects you on the mental plane and it affects you on the spiritual plane. Okay, this is the knowledge that these occultists know. Into these secret societies, secret orders, this is the kind of knowledge that they know. So all these fast food and additives and preservatives and processed sugar, this is alchemy, guys. This is not just no food company trying to create processed food to make money. No, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's about to control consciousness. Okay? Because whatever is done to the physical body is going to affect the mental body, which is going to affect the spiritual body. These are your three phases of existence. You must bring yourself to a certain level of purification. Now, I get it. For most of us, we didn't know. Okay, again, we came into the world, we thought that everything was normal. Your mother and your father say, here, this is what you eat. They give you dead animals on a plate with white rice and bread and biscuit and cereal and milk and a whole bunch of dairy products. And again, you didn't suspect anything was wrong because everybody else was also consuming it, right? So now we're in our adult stage right now, and we're the fallen victim to the world or to the society that we came into. We fall victim to it already. Our bodies are already contaminated. A lot of y'all right now in this very life, you have a high level of heavy metal toxicity. Mercury, aluminum, cadmium, arsenic. In fact, dementia and Alzheimer only exist because of aluminum inside of the brain, disrupting the conductivity between the left and the right hemisphere. Okay? Literally, dementia and Alzheimer only exist because of heavy metals in your brain. Where did the heavy metal come from? It's aluminum. Where did the aluminum come from? You guys have been cooking in aluminum pots for most of your life. Notice? Oh, wait a minute. Did y'all think that those aluminum pots was by accident? Do you think that they just start making aluminum pots on a mass scale in society just out of just that's just the material that they choose. They choose that specific material for a reason because they have knowledge of alchemy. They understand the elements. I keep trying to bring this across your consciousness for years. You guys still don't get it. I'm gonna change my diet soon, bro. Oh, I'm gonna soon do a detox. Oh, you don't understand the level of danger that you're in. You're being sacrificed, literally being sacrificed. Okay? And guess what? There's no negative karma behind being a sacrificial lamb if you've come into alignment with it. Remember, we talked about that? That's why also one of the reasons why they be telling you the things that they're gonna do to you in the movies, like subliminal, because they have to tell you. The reason why they tell you what they're doing to you, because what? That basically takes them out of receiving negative karma. Because if they tell you that they're going to do something and you don't do nothing about it and you just still participate, then you come into agreement. It's universal law. Okay? So if you think that them aluminum pots was just put out there on a mass scale for people to buy, and you think that, that's just coincidence. No, it's not. They know. They did various amount of studies to see how different metals affect people. Okay? So they're literally manufacturing disease inside of your body. Remember, if you're eating fruits and vegetables, just as a side note, if you're eating fruits and vegetables and a natural food that God gave you, like what the Bible says, is it possible for you to develop a disease of any kind? No, it's not possible. Otherwise, that would be like saying that God made a mistake. And the infinite intelligence cannot make a mistake. The divine source of all creation cannot make a mistake. Okay? You only have disease because you've been consuming man-made foods. They manufactured inside of your body. Have you noticed that there's no animals that get diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure? Okay? Animals don't get this shit. Wild animals don't get this shit. Maybe them little fake dogs that y'all got. Them laboratory made dogs that y'all got feeding laboratory foods. Maybe those, But natural animals don't have disease because why? They eat in accordance with nature. Have you ever seen a lion with high cholesterol? Okay. Have you ever seen a lion or a cat or any animal that eats meat with high cholesterol? No. See, you're not that very intelligent. You see what I've been talking about? Y'all go to school. Oh, I graduated this college. Um, am I supposed to be proud of you? You still can't express independent thought. You can't even think for yourself. You're dumbed down. How you go to school and graduate with degrees and you're still, I mean, you're dumber than when you went in there. The fact that you eat food that kills you and give you disease and you're still eating it, that's not the essence of somebody who's intelligent. You see? So y'all claim to be smarter than animals, but I beg to differ. I beg to differ because guess what? Animals live in accordance with the cosmic arrangement. Okay? We don't find no natural animal in nature at all that has a disease from eating the foods that they eat. Only human beings who claim to be so smart. They're riddled with diseases. The whole hospitals are full right now. Go to any hospital, it's full. And the ones that are at home, popping pills 3-4 times a day, hella drugs. Even though they're popping the drugs, they're still not getting better. They're still taking it, still taking it. How dumb can you be? You've been taking drugs for 10, 12 years and you still got the same disease. Are you that stupid to realize that this shit is not, it's not possible for it to heal you because it's not getting rid of the source of the problem? Y'all are really not intelligent at all. All that degree and stuff makes no sense if you lack common sense. Okay? Listen, this is simple what your degree is. You went to college and you did exactly what they told you to do. And they just give you a high score because you were programmable. You just regurgitate information. That's what the degree was about. The degree was not about intelligence. It's about you following orders, being submissive to the brainwashing and the MK Ultra. And so you come out of college with everything that they told you to believe in and everything that they taught you, and you say, yo, I got a degree, I'm smart. No, you're not. You're a dumbass. Okay? Because you still can't make sense of reality. What you learn in school, you can't use it to navigate your reality either. So that makes no sense. How are you popping drugs for 10, 12 years, having the same disease, and you don't realize that, oh, this shit doesn't work because it's not getting to the source of the problem? It's kind of like some people that I know that are taking high cholesterol medication, right? But still eating animal products. Okay, I'm so listen, I don't mean to laugh, but it's just like you're taking high cholesterol medication, right? But you're still eating animal products. Cholesterol only exists in animal products. It doesn't exist anywhere else. A smart person would just say, oh, since cholesterol exists in animal products, and I have high cholesterol, which means my arteries are blocked the fuck up, let me just stop eating animal products for a year and allow the buildup of cholesterol in my arteries to just dissolve. That's what a smart person would do. An idiotic person would still take high cholesterol medication while eating a hell of chicken legs and beef and steak. That's you. So are you really intelligent? See, you're not. Let's face the facts. So society have dumbed people down and disconnect them from their own common sense and their ability to make sense of things. This is what we have here today. Okay? Diseases are manufactured inside of your body because what? You disobey the cosmic arrangement. Processed sugar. Do you know that 1 gram of processed sugar suppresses your immune system for over 72 hours? Okay? Originally, it was 4 hours. They were like, yo, 1 grams suppressive for 4 hours. But additional studies shows that the immune system really don't even start to activate again after a longer time span. Now, you're drinking one soda that have over 30, 48 grams of processed sugar. Multiply that by, not even by the 72. Multiply that by 4. That's how many days you don't have no immune system. And the thing is, you guys never stop consuming processed sugar, right? Frosted Flakes in the morning for you and the kids, right? Right. Soda pop, Dunkin' Donuts, right? Processed sugar. You see that? No immune system. You're killing your own immune system every single day. If 1 gram of processed sugar suppress your immune system for over 72 hours, but you're consuming over 40 grams per one bottle of drink, and you're not only just consuming one drink a day, you're consuming multiple layers of processed sugar. From your donuts, to your chocolate, to your candy, to your Skittles, to your M&M, to your Snicker bars. Then the ice cream truck comes around with that little dumbass sound. Your kids start moving like a zombie. Grown ass adult running outside with your kids behind you to the ice cream truck to go buy artificial flavor, artificial color, and processed sugar. Do you know how you look? Now, I know to your neighbors, everything seems normal because your neighbors are also under the illusion too. Everybody's on the same wavelength of frequency. So, to your neighbors, nothing gonna look off. But do you know how you look to a person who's actually not under that spell? You look crazy, and especially when you're overweight. You already had enough experience. Why you still running to the ice cream truck? The way how your body is disproportioned is a testament to the years of experience that you've had eating this kind of stuff. Like, you don't feel like you can retire now? As a grown ass adult, you're still running out there to go gobble up some ice cream? You've had enough experience. Leave that to the kids. And to be honest, I wouldn't say, listen, if it's up to me, don't feed your kids that bullshit. Okay? That's why they're retarded. Literally, that's what processed sugar do to your brain, artificial color and artificial flavor. Nothing is real in the ice cream talking about vanilla ice cream. That's not no real vanilla. Pink ice cream. That color is fake. The blue ice cream, the yellow ice cream, that's all artificial colors. It's not derived from nothing natural in nature. Now y'all wonder why your hormones are fucked up and imbalanced? You did it to yourself. And every single day, you repeat the same shit over and over again, but claim that you're intelligent. That's what I'm saying. When you sit back and you start to observe the people within society, you realize that they're gone. They're all mentally gone. Some people are on this live at this very moment and still gonna get up tomorrow and pour themselves a bowl of frosted flakes in cold puss milk. Because they just don't love themselves that much. They care about pleasure, just the pleasure. So as you can see, you manufacture the disease inside of your own body. Literally, you need to wake up from the illusion. Now, not only is the food manufacturing disease in your body, but it's also anchoring down your consciousness. That's why you don't find no importance in going within yourself and figuring out what is the meaning behind my existence right now. What did I came to this world to do? That's why none of that listen, none of that stuff excites you at all. You don't feel nothing towards that. Even some of you all right now, even though I'm talking about this subject and this topic, you don't feel nothing. You don't give a shit about finding out what your purpose is or living in alignment with your purpose. You really don't care. You just hear that, like, you're listening, but you're just not feeling nothing. You're not feeling no magnetizing to let me go do some meditation. Let me go start get my life together. Let me go detox and purify my body and purify my mind and purify my spirit. You see, because they already got you. If you're here with me right now and you're not, none of this stuff even makes sense to you, and it sounds like a whole bunch of hocus pocus bullshit, it's because you're already gone. Now, I'm not saying that you're a lost cause because you can always, reclaim back your power, reclaim back yourself. But are you willing to do what it takes to reclaim back yourself? Like, y'all gonna be like, yeah, but no. Are you willing to do a 40-day fast? Are you willing to do a 21-day fast of eating no food? Are you willing to start to meditate for 20 minutes every day when you wake up before you jump on social media? No. Are you willing to give up animal products and stop eating meat? See? Are you willing to stop watching television and start to read books instead? The time you take to binge watch Netflix shows, you start to read some fucking books. Are you willing to do that? You're not. You see, you're not willing to give up none of those things because they become a part of your life that you revolve around that for your happiness and for and for comfort. So see, you're not ready to grow and to expand into who you truly are or to live in alignment with your divine purpose. You're not willing to do so. And that's the problem. Again, you have to purify your mind, body, and spirit. Now, let me walk you through the steps, what this is like. First, you have to start at the foundation. Okay, you're going to start at the foundation. Okay? The foundation, the foundation is your physical body. Your physical body is the foundation. Okay? So, we have to first start by removing the impurities from your body, from your intestines, from your liver, from your kidneys, from your blood, from your lymphatic system, from your spleen. You remove all of the heavy metals, the mercury, the aluminum, the arsenic. Okay? Gone. Next, you need to remove all the parasites from your body. Y'all been eating a whole bunch of dead animals and a whole bunch of parasites. You have to do a intense parasite cleanser. Let me tell you, if you think you're gonna get rid of parasites in 2 weeks or months, no. Depending on your parasitic load, it may take even a year or a year and a half to fully rid your body of all parasite and parasite eggs. This has to be done. If you don't do a long parasite cleanse, you will never attain true health. Never. Okay? So we're gonna pull out all the heavy metals. We're gonna remove all the parasites. We're gonna cleanse out the intestines fully, thoroughly. Okay? We have to purify and clean the blood. We have to activate back the lymphatic system again. We have to pull the fluoride back out of your body. All that fluoride water you've been drinking that calcifies your pineal gland, that's also causing you to have a low cognitive function and awareness abilities. The tamarind juice is gonna help you to pull the fluoride back out of your body and pull the heavy metals out and also cleanse out your gut. These are things that you're going to need to do. Okay, we're gonna get through those steps. Okay, I'm actually gonna have a guide in a couple of days which you can just download and follow through with the guide. Okay, all right. So that's for the physical body, right? That's for the physical body. The mental body. Let's move over into the mental body. Yeah, because you have to understand healing is on all planes of your existence. So for the people who think that, oh, you're just gonna come drink one little potion, one little tonic bottle, and for 2 weeks, and oh, I'm healed, I'm brand new. It doesn't work that way. You have to address, you have to address the healing on every single level. Okay? So after we've done cleanse and purify the physical body, I am gonna have you doing long periods of fasting. I'm gonna have you fasting for 21 days. I'm gonna have you fasting for 40 days. You see, in the Bible, it talks about Christ fasting for 40 days. It tells you, right? Jesus fasted for 40 days and he was being tempted by the devil. When you're fasting for 40 days, you're going to have to fight your hunger and your desire for food and your desire for sex. That's the devil tempting you, trying to anchor you down into pleasure and you thinking that you need that. I need this. Okay? The fasting is going to heal you on all levels too. Do you know that every single person that I've helped to heal from a disease, I had them fasting? Yes. From all the lupus, all the herpes, all the HPVs, people who even had cancer, who healed their body, I had them fasting for 40 days while on the cleanses. Okay? Every single person that I've healed, it includes fasting. Literally. So you're going to have to be willing to do some fasting. Okay? Okay, next, on the mental plane. Now, let me explain something to you about how the body works. Okay? So, obviously, the body, you have a mental body, okay? Physical body and an astral body. The mental body also affects the physical body. What affects the physical body affects the mental body. What affects the mental body affects the physical body. Vice versa. You need to come into this understanding, right? Come into this understanding. So, when we talk about purifying the mental body, first, I need you to forgive people. Forgive the people who did you dirty. Forgive the people who did you wrong. Forgive the people who betrayed you. Forgive the people who traumatized you, who caused you harm. Now, I'm not saying, again, I've talked about this many times. I'm not saying that you're going to pick up the phone and be like, yo, motherfucker, I forgive you for what you did. They don't need to know. The forgiveness is not for them. Okay? The forgiveness is not for them. The forgiveness is not for them. The forgiveness is for you. It's you releasing the energetic weight. Because see, carrying resentment and grief for somebody who caused you harm or betrayed you, it's not okay. It's not making God punish them worse, or it's not making their karma return faster. You get what I'm saying? In fact, a person who move like that with you is actually busy moving like that with other people. They're looking for the next victim. So you carrying that grief and that resentment is energetic weight that you're carrying. You can release that. Okay? The universe saw it, God saw it, spiritual world saw it. Because a lot of times when people do grimy shit behind the scenes, okay, and they think because a physical human being didn't see them doing that grimy shit, they think that nobody saw them. No. The spirit sees you, the celestial body sees you. That's why the Mercury retrograde be coming back on a lot of people. That's their negative karma because they think that nobody saw that backdoor shit that they've been doing. Okay? The sun sees you, the moon sees you, Mars sees you, Mercury sees you, Jupiter sees you, Venus sees you, Saturn sees you, Pluto sees you, all the celestial bodies which governs over physical reality. They see you. Don't be thinking that them things up into the sky is not aware. They're very intelligent. Okay? If they can govern over human existence and the elementals, what would make you think that they're not intelligent? The sun that gives life and give you vitamin D and give sunlight and energy to all the plants. The moon that governs over the water and the tides. Do you think listen, that's a being that's completely aware, that can see, hear, everything, is very intelligent, even more intelligent than even you. So when you're doing some grimy shit behind the scenes and think that, oh, because a physical human being didn't see you, everything sees you within the universe sees you. The spirits around that you can't see, they see you. The celestial body sees you. The universe sees you. So when you see people going to the Mercury retrograde and they're like, yo, Mercury retrograde, life is getting crazy for me. That's their karma being returned to them. Okay? So I'm just saying that, hey, the people who did you dirty in life, listen, you can release the grief. You can release the resentment towards them. The forgiveness is not for them. They don't even need to know that you forgive them. Sit down in a corner, go in meditation with yourself and let it go. Tell yourself that, okay, I'm forgiving this person. I now let this resentment for this person go. Affirmation. I now let this grief dissolve for what have happened to me by such and such of a person. And listen, it's going to be painful sometimes. In fact, okay, it's not just you just saying something. You tend to even feel it, or the emotions will arise again. Okay? And you just need to sit through it and feel it and keep affirming that I'm letting it go. Affirming that I'm letting it go. Because while you're affirming that you're letting it go, the memory and the experience start to resurface again. And you start to feel that emotion all over again. Because what? It's trapped inside of your nervous system. Okay? It's trapped inside of your nervous system. Your nervous system remembers every experience and everything. That's what PTSD is about. It's the memory that your body basically hold the scores. Okay? So you keep affirming that, sit through it. It's gonna be intense. You sit through it. Don't run away from the feeling. Sit through it, feel it, release, release, release until it dissolves. Release until it dissolves. Now, once it dissolves, now what have happened is this. Now you've released the energetic weight, okay? Which is like an energetic baggage of grief and resentment towards who traumatized you. Because again, the person who traumatized you or hurt you or betrayed you are not even thinking about you. They're on to their next victim. That's just what they do. Okay? That's just what they do. Once you've released the grief and the energetic weight, now guess what? You're not carrying around that energetic weight no more. So what happened to when something is light? Because now you've become so light. When something is light like smoke, doesn't it rise? Yes, well, yes, when something is light, it rises, right? Yes. And when something is heavy, it sinks. So when you're carrying this energetic weight, it's like you carrying around some cinder block or like an anchor. It's weighting you down, plundering you down into depression. You have to let it go. You holding on to that resentment and grief towards who did you dirty is not making God punish them worse. Listen, they're going to get their karma in due time, probably 7 or 100 folds. Okay? Let that go. Okay? And allow yourself to naturally rise. You see, do not allow anybody or anything in this world to taint you. You see how if we could visit you right now, back when you were 5 years old, 6 years old, do you notice how you were naturally just a happy child, right? Happy in your imagination, kind, right? But look at you now. Look, okay, not even to say you, look at all of us now. A lot of us, like, we're still broken. We've been traumatized by other people within the reality, right? So it's like you need to return back to your true self before the world gotten their hands on you. That's what it means when I say find yourself. You're not lost. It's returning back to your natural pure state before the world gotten their hands on you. Remember how you were naturally loving and kind when, like, you're oblivious that the world contains so much evil people and people with evil intention. Like people who even take your kindness for weakness, or people who just take from you because takers have no limit while never giving nothing back. But you had no idea that human beings was like that, because what? You're operating from your heart space because you thought that everybody felt the way how you felt within your heart. See, and naturally for a lot of us, especially empath, you'd naturally assume that everybody felt the way how you do within your heart. So you move out of purity and pure intention towards everybody that you encounter, but they never reciprocate that energy. Because what? Those people have been tainted by dark forces and demons and different kind of entity attachment. You see? And basically they did you dirty. So you can't allow them to taint you. You see what I'm saying? That's why you need this is why you need to forgive them. Don't carry around that energetic weight that they've placed on you based on what they've did to you. Release that. Return back to your pure, loving, natural self again. And that's when life is going to start to come together for you, because guess what? When you're vibrating in your authentic frequency, then what is for you is going to be for you. But what happened when you're carrying around energy that doesn't belong to you because somebody have done something to you? So you're carrying around this dark energy with you, this depressive energy with you. You see, listen, you can't get to align with what God has in store for you, because what? You're not showing up in your authentic essence and in your authentic energy. So you're disaligned from your purpose. But the moment you basically rid yourself of all of that stuff, and return back to your pure self again before the world have gotten their hands on you. You're now back into your natural vibrational frequency, your natural state of being, your natural essence, your natural magnetism, your natural soul force. And now everything that is for you is going to start to align for you. Again, a lot of us have been traumatized because keep in mind, we come into the world and it's the human beings that's been here already that have been tainted. They're the ones who end up traumatizing other people. And then those people end up traumatizing the next generation. You can see this happening right now. Think about it. A lot of y'all that's on here right now, you've experienced some levels of trauma within your life. But keep in mind that the person who traumatized you was also traumatized by another generation too. So you see how this shit can keep going, moving from generation to generation? One tainted person tainting the other person, that person become consumed by the energy that they were tainted by, and then they end up eventually doing it to somebody else, and they keep going and they keep going and they keep going. Do not become a conduit for dark energy. Okay? Forgive the people who hurt you, harmed you, betrayed you, or traumatized you. They don't need to know that you forgive them. Do it from within your own being, within your own self. Release that energetic baggage. Allow yourself to naturally rise and come into alignment. Okay? Come into alignment with what is for you and your natural state of being. Okay? Secondly, meditation. Listen, you have to stop running away from yourself. All this stuff, get up in the morning, jumping on social media to go check your inbox and check your story. What is that actually doing for you? You still don't know who you are. Social media is not real. Yes, we spend a lot of time on it. And yes, it's kind of cool the fact that we can connect to people from all over the world, but it's not real life. Go the fuck outside, go take a walk in nature. Okay, get off the phone and talk to people around. These days, everybody outside is just like this. People don't even say hi to people anymore. In fact, it's so crazy. Okay, social media is not real life. Now, I'm not saying that it's not cool that we can connect. That aspect of it is nice. Okay, but we have to be grounded in reality at the end of the day. Okay, so meditation is you going into your inner world to spend time with yourself, to get to know yourself on a deeper level. Okay, get to know yourself on a deeper level. Now, let me ask you this: your favorite person right now, whether it be your favorite uncle, your favorite cousin, whether it be your significant other, or your best friend. Let me ask you, didn't you form a bond with this person based off the amount of time that you spend with them? So you've come to learn about them, right? Y'all spend so much time together that y'all learn about each other. Y'all have formed a bond. So haven't you realized that in order to know yourself, you need to spend time with yourself to know yourself? Just like how you can spend time with that person who you like. You only know them because you spend a lot of time with them. It's the same thing within your inner world. The more time you spend with yourself is the more you get to know yourself. Now, I'm not talking about being introvert and being in a house by yourself watching TV or on your phone. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going within, sitting down in meditation, be present within your mind, within your inner world, okay? Having no outside thoughts, because the highest state of meditation is to cultivate stillness. Okay? Stillness allows you clarity and it opens up the doors to your inner world. Okay? If you can sit still, okay, for a long period of time, eventually it becomes like a vacuum. You can literally feel your consciousness being sucked inwards. Okay? And then you're just in this space. And within that space is where you're able to connect with your higher self. Your intuition talks to you like how we're having this conversation. Okay? Your soul start to lay out everything for you. Okay, this is what you need to work on next. This is what you need to do. This is what your purpose is. This is what your gifts are. You see, listen, you don't need any guru. You don't have to get initiated into no cult or no religion for you to connect with God. Let me tell you that straight up. If you think that you're going to go to a religion to connect with God, you're fucking delusional. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that the whole act or the whole thing is not, is not inspirational to some level. Like, okay, people are coming together to unify and to operate in a loving frequency and to live according to the words of God. That aspect of it is beautiful, perfect. But I'm saying that if you believe in God, you will never know God. See, you only believe in something when you don't know it. Think about it. You only believe in something when you don't know it. So you shouldn't be living your life trying to believe in God. You should be trying to know God. Okay? You are never disconnected from God. I don't know what they told in these religions. You are never disconnected. You're just not going within. Okay? Go within and tap into that connection that you already have with Source. You are never disconnected. You don't need to go to no place to go donate no money. You don't need to join no cults and get initiated into nothing to connect with God. Okay? It's all about going within. If there's one thing that I can tell you for sure, that I've learned throughout my experience being on earth up until this point is that the doors is within. The doors is within. It's not outside. Notice that's what I always try to keep you outside of yourself. Worshiping fallen stars, celebrities, watching constant TV, doom scrolling on social media, all type of belief, space, NASA will go out into space, all that bullshit. It's all to pull your consciousness externally outside of yourself. Go within. Now, I'm not saying that if you sit into meditation today, right now, that immediately you're going to experience something. You see, it gradually starts to unfold. The more you meditate, is the more the magnetism start to build up. Listen, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I want you to meditate every single day for the next 2 months. Just 20 minutes. When you get up in the morning or before you go to bed, okay? Just 20 minutes. Go sit in meditation and just be still. And try not to have any thoughts. Control your breathing. Try to relax. Just sit with yourself. Every time you're about to think about a whole bunch of stuff, blank out your mind again. And I guarantee you, within 3 to 4 weeks, you're going to start to feel something. You like literally, you're going to start to experience things within your inner world. Okay, you see that intuition that normally shows up and just tell you to try to protect you from something like, hey, something's not right with this. I have a bad feeling about this. That intuition starts to talk to you like how you guys are talking to AI. That's the whole thing about AI. Say, oh, you guys get on AI. Oh, chat GPT this. Listen, you can do the same thing within your consciousness. AI is only copying you. I notice that these occultists always find a way to sell people an external version of abilities that they have within their consciousness. Just like how we're using cell phones to call and talk to each other, but people used to do telepathy. Like if you read the Bhagavad Gita or the autobiography of a yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, people was literally using telepathy to communicate. But now we've been cut off from that ability because we don't even try to cultivate it to the point where we depend upon these external stuff to communicate. You see what I'm saying? So instead of asking chat GPT, sit in meditation and ask your higher consciousness, higher self, what should I do about this? How does this work? Um, and you can consider higher self to be like you asking God. As Florence Covision says in her books, prayer is you telephoning to God. Intuition is God telephoning to you. So the most complex questions that you have about your life or a major decision, sit in meditation and ask. Whether you want to say, universe, source, Jesus, I don't, like, whatever name you have for it, that's your thing. The whole point is that you're asking higher source for direction or answers regarding a certain thing, right? And you're sitting in the meditation. You sitting down in the meditation is you drawing away your energy from everything else on the external. So now you have a higher concentration amount of power that allows you to pierce through the veil or to somewhat project your prayer into higher dimensional spaces. Okay, let me kind of break it down so you can understand what happened energetically. When you pull your attention from the external world and the five senses, and you basically use it as a conduit to project your prayers, because prayer is just an affirmation, right? You're able to have enough energy to pierce through the veil to higher dimensional spaces, basically. Okay? So meditation have so many different levels to it that can assist you to change your whole entire life. And I can tell you right now that even me being here in alignment with my purpose is through that connection that I've cultivated through meditation. Listen, whenever you see me live, don't be thinking that, oh, I'm just coming live to come in live. I said sometimes you don't see me. I come live whenever I get that download intuitively and it says, you need to go live today. And this is what you need to talk about. Okay? And all of the information is flowing in at that time. So don't be thinking that when I'm here that I have a whole bunch of information that I've written down. I don't take notes or pre-record nothing. Okay? It's in real time. I'm getting direct downloads real time coming straight in. Sometimes I'm even learning about something for the first time as you're learning about it. Sometimes a person asks me a question, they're like, hey, how do you explain this? What is this? What is this? And it comes directly in at the same time. So sometimes I'm learning with you. Sometimes I go back over the live videos and taking notes. You see what I'm saying? But that's that connection that I've cultivated directly to source. But you're only going to be able to cultivate that by purifying yourself. Purify your body, purify your mind, purify your spirit. Okay? A lot of y'all, your spirit has been tainted. Okay? You already got initiated into all kind of occults. A lot of y'all participating in witchcraft and stuff against other people. Like I go on TikTok, I see y'all using witchcraft on men for fatal relationship, putting people names in jars and doing all that kind of crazy shit. As if karma is not gonna return back on you for that. Remember, don't ever tamper with anybody's free will. So that's the reason why why some people have to do all kind of different rituals and different shit because what? They don't have any connection to source. When you have a natural connection to source, you're naturally abundant. Okay? You can pull wisdom and knowledge directly from source because what? You're connected to source or connected to God. So again, you don't need to go to an institution talk about, oh, I'm donating money to connect with God. No, purify yourself. Remember, the Bible tells you the body is the temple of God. The kingdom of God is within. The Bible literally tells you that. So what? Okay, if the body is the temple of God, why aren't you purifying your body? If the kingdom of God is within, why aren't you going within? It also says not. Okay, it says seek and you shall find. Knock, you shall be answered. Right? It literally tells you. So see, we're doing everything else except to actually go within. Go within yourself. Meditation is going to help you to cultivate the mental body. Okay. Also, once you start meditating, you end up learning how to control your emotions. A lot of people they lack emotional intelligence. Okay. That's why most people they don't care if something is true or not. They care about how it made them feel. Or even if you say something and it's really true, there's people who don't give a shit just because what you said made them feel some type of a way. That's a lack of emotional intelligence. That's actually what stupidity is. Literally, if you look up the definition of stupidity, right? Literally, meditation allow you to govern and control over your emotion. It also helps you to control and master over your mental faculties. So we've talked about the physical plane, that's the mental plane. And when it comes to the spiritual plane, right? You're already connected. Simply just do not taint your spirit. Don't get initiated into no cults. Okay? Do not find yourself operating in witchcraft and hurting other people or violating people's free will. Okay? Because what I know about witchcraft and stuff is that people normally use that stuff to protect themselves or cleanse their energy. But if you're gonna pick it up on yourself to go and try to work against somebody else just because they say something that you don't like, right? Or the jealousy of some sort or resentment of some sort, and that person did not do anything to you personally or infringe upon your life, and you took it upon yourself to go and do some kind of nefarious shit against them, okay, it's gonna come back on you 12 times worse. Okay, you can also curse your children by doing that too, because the energy is gonna come back. And when it come back on your bloodline, it's gonna come back on your kids as well. There's a lot of people right now that's going through shit and wondering why their life is going downhill. not realizing that your mother or your grandmother was doing some nefarious shit against people for no reason that was not justified or justifiable. Okay? We'll talk more deeper on this level of things at another time. But this live was truly really about getting to the intestines and how to cleanse out your intestines and heal your colon. So now that we've been through the base level of what we need to talk about, now we're gonna move over towards cleansing of the intestines. Okay, cleansing of the intestines. By the way, so I'm gonna do a sale here tonight on live. Okay, I haven't done a sale for you guys in a long time. And I did a Mother Day sale, but based off me being shadow banned, a lot of people didn't get to see it. Because even like people that normally shop with me a lot, they were like, oh, I don't even see nothing on Instagram because I'm shadow banned. Right. So I'm gonna do a sale on live here tonight. Um, so you can start to work up on your lymphatic system and your colon. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Bella, me do the Mother Day sale, but barely nobody sees it at all. So I'm actually gonna make another IG page. I have another IG page. I'm gonna start to find a way how to link it so y'all can follow me over there. But eventually, I'm gonna have to come up with another IG page because they do me dirty on this one. Okay. I mean, it's a million people here and it's only 100 of us here. That alone kind of tells you that makes no sense. Okay, a million people is a lot of people. So for 100 people to even be here, it goes to show you the level of suppression. But I get it. I get it. In the Matrix, that's what they did. They delete both my TikTok accounts. They didn't send me the money. They took everything, right? They banned me on Facebook. So I get it. They don't want anybody coming through on their systems that is operating on a certain wavelength or frequency or vibration. They don't want anybody sharing information that goes against their agenda. You see, because remember, if I was coming on the internet to share low vibrational information, and some bullshit like I see everybody else, you'd have seen it all over the internet. When you go to the For You page, what do you see? Lustful content and gossip content. That's what's there. But then they're gonna ban me because what? The information I'm bringing to the table is transformational. So the matrix is looking to preserve itself and preserve the illusion. So naturally, they're gonna try to ban or censor anybody who's coming with a different energy. So I'm not mad about it. I understand. Okay, I get it. But we're gonna try to work around this stuff. So I knew it was always going to be challenging, basically. So we're just going to keep pushing forward anyway. All right. All right. So we're going to focus on the intestines here today. Okay. We're going to focus on intestines here today. A matter of fact, let me kind of reset the energy real quick. Let me kind of reset the energy real quick. Ah, Make we reset the energy before we start. So this deep dive that we're gonna do on the colon, okay, is gonna really put you in a whole nother level. Um, Bella, you can type number six. Type the number six in the comment section and tell me if you get a immediate inbox with a discount code. Okay, type number six for me and tell me if you got it. Okay, so if the code is working, okay, can somebody else confirm if they got a DM with a 20% discount code? Okay, perfect. Okay, so yeah, so that's a 20% discount code. That takes out 20% off your entire cart, so you can get your colon cleanse or your parasite cleanse or whatever you need. All right. All right. So now let's do a very deep dive for the intestines. How to cleanse your intestines. How to heal your intestines. Okay. Because remember, every disease start in the gut. Okay. Every disease start in the gut. Like we said, the energy. Breathing. Okay. All right. So we reset the energy. So let's move into another build. Okay. Hold on. One piece of apple. What I got in here? Uh, and then a few little cucumbers. Oh, this pineapple smell. Oh, this pineapple. Oh, I got to peel this pineapple tonight. Mhm. We definitely gotta peel this pineapple. Look, it's already started like so juicy that juice already started being released out of it. Smell good. So we're gonna peel this too. Peel that. Oh, and two mango. No, two nice little mango, yeah. And one apple. Two mango and one apple. All right. Also try. Okay, so here's what. Within the next, okay, after we're done talking about the colon, all right, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna open up the lines on the phone line and allow a few calls. We're not gonna do a lot, okay, but I'm gonna allow a few calls in a couple minutes. All right. Also, for anybody who's just now coming in, remember you can type the number 6 for a discount code. I can type the number 6. Bella, you can type it out for me. Type out um type number 6 for a discount code, and then me go pin it. Oh yeah, and as Bella said, when you call, don't call with no nonsense, all right? Call and be serious, and no more than 1 minute. Tanya, all right, Tanya, here's what. Inbox me, and I'll add in a free product for you, okay? Since you missed the discount code. I got you. Okay, thank you, Bella. All right, family. So we're gonna get into cleansing of the intestines, and I want you to understand that all disease start in the gut. Literally, all disease start into the gut. All right. Because also one factor is that when you're also not eliminating properly, the waste that stays in your intestine, it get reabsorbed back into the bloodstream, and it start to travel to different organs, basically. All right. All right. Let's get into it. All right. So first thing first, I want you to understand that your intestines is 3 times the length of your body. Okay, 3 times the length of your body, which means that whatever your height is, 3 times the length of that is going to be your intestines. So if somebody could take out your intestines and stretch it all the way out, it will be the length of 3 times the length of your body. Now, as you can see, everything is very coiled up in this area. Now, I don't know why the fuck God did that shit. Okay, because instead of animals' intestines is also 5 feet long. Like a carnivore, like a lion intestine is only 5 feet long. So that's why lions they don't get constipation and get disease, bowel disease, because what? It's less amount of time. So stuff goes in and it comes right out because the lion intestine is only 5 feet long. Yours is only 25 feet long. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, yes, you can eat some animal products and get away with it, but it is not the diet for you, really. So what happened is it end up being trapped into these crevices. Okay, you see these crevices? You see these crevices and these turns? Look at these sharp turns. Now think, okay, I want you to think of it in a sense like you're on a highway, right? So you're on a highway, and imagine if this is the highway. Okay? Imagine if this is the highway, right? You gotta come a sharp turn, sharp turn, sharp turn, sharp turn. This is a lot. It's like you're going nowhere because it's like sharp turn, come back around, sharp turn, sharp. Like this is a lot to go through. This is not designed for meat to really pass through. Yes, you can get away with it, but it's not really designed for meat to pass through. Now, how do we prove this? Because what? Your intestines move via fiber. Okay, fiber is what your intestinal contraction uses to move things along the intestines. Now, do you have fiber in the meat that you're eating? No. Is there fiber in the processed foods that you're eating? No. No. See, you find natural fiber inside of fruits. So just like what the Bible says, I give you seeds and fruits for food. So the natural foods contain fiber, they contain the natural fructose as sugar, they contain the natural enzymes and the natural vitamins and minerals that the body need. So you see, God already put everything inside of the fruits that the body needs already as one package, right? So as you can see, when you eat food that doesn't have any fiber in it, you become constipated. Okay, because therefore it's not activating the the peristalsis, which the intestine uses to contract to pass things along the intestines. I'm going to show you what that look like in a minute or two, right? The second thing, the importance of fiber is that fiber also act like a bedding, which allow the sugar absorption to be at a very controlled rate. So you're not gonna have high blood sugar when you're eating stuff that have fiber because the fiber becomes like a bedding, and then it allows the sugar absorption to be very slow process. So you don't have a whole bunch of sugar in your blood all at once. Okay, which would actually cause like an insulin spike because now your pancreas going to need to produce a whole bunch of insulin to try to get that under control. So as you can tell, the foods that you eat have no fiber, have no enzymes. Okay, that's why a lot of people, you also overwork the liver because the liver produces the bile is stored inside of the gallbladder, right, which gets released into the stomach to aid the digestion. Okay, all right, now we'll talk about the liver in depth and probably another live, but this live, I want this live to be specifically us tapping into all the areas of the intestines and the colon. Okay. 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 So here we have a more sophisticated diagram. Okay. Let me bring it up close because I want you to see it. All right. I want you to see it. Now, so as you can see, the small intestines, right? Now I want you to look over here. Over here is what shows you the peristalsis. So this is called the peristalsis. So this is the contraction that your intestines use to squeeze down and pushes over the material or whatever is going through your intestinal lining. And then it does so again to keep pushing it through. So basically, your whole entire intestines is a muscle. It has muscles at around like every inch or so, you got a muscle. These muscles squeeze down, squeeze down, squeeze down, squeeze down, and that's how it moves things throughout your intestines. Now, keep in mind the purpose of your small intestines, right, is to actually absorb the nutrients and the minerals from the food that you're eating. So when you consume food, it goes into the stomach, the hydrochloric acid breaks the food down. Now, first of all, the moment you start to chew the food, your saliva start to break it down. That's what we talk about not eating too fast. Okay? Slow down and chew the food properly. Chew the food properly. A lot of y'all, you're just too greedy. You're a slave to gluttony. You can't slow down. Like I'm sort of seeing some of my family members sometimes. It's like a whole plate of food gone under 3 minutes. It's like, yo, what the hell? Right? Why in such of a rush? The food is not going nowhere. Take your time. Gluttony, take your time. Okay? Okay, all right. So the food starts to become break down by the saliva, and you chewing the food breaking down. It comes down. It hits the hydrochloric acid inside of your stomach. The hydrochloric acid now starts to break it down. The liver, right? The liver is now is going to secrete the bile to the gallbladder. That's why you need your gallbladder. If you're living a lifestyle where you have to get your gallbladder removed, it shows that you're literally living in the frequency of self-sabotage. Imagine the very lifestyle that you're living is against the very organs which are the components to your health and your consciousness. Listen, that shit is disgraceful. Imagine you're living a life to where it doesn't even support the very organs within your body that's giving you life and keeping you here. You should be ashamed of yourself. Anyway, the liver produces the bile. The gallbladder stores the bile, which then releases it inside of your stomach to help to break down the food, call it digestive enzymes. Okay? Once the food is mixed up with the digestive enzymes, it now enters into the small intestines. Now, this small area here is called the duodenum. Okay? The duodenum. That's what this area is called. Do I have an actual? Okay, I don't have that piece. But I wanted to show you exactly what it looked like, but I don't know where that part is at. Right? So this is called the duodenum, which is the entrance into the small intestines. Now, once the foods have now been mixed, and so it's now traveling through the small intestines. It's the small intestines that now has to do what? Absorb the nutrients and the minerals and the vitamins and the phytonutrients directly into the bloodstream. But in order for the small intestine to do that, the small intestine have what we call microvilli. Okay, microvilli. Wait, let me see. Do we have a picture of the villi on here? I could have sworn I did. Okay, yeah, we did. We do. Okay, here we go. So these are called the microvilli. Okay, notice how it look like tiny little fingers or tiny little brushes. Let me bring it up closer. I want you to see it. Okay, so on your intestinal lining, these are called microvilli. Okay, so you can think of it like the end of a brush. Like you know, like how the women be having the little makeup brushes, they be doing this on their face every day long. Like, you know, yeah. So that same little brushing thing on your intestinal lining, you have those little tiny brush-like thing called microvilli. Now, on the end of those microvilli is where you're gonna have your gut bacteria. Okay? And those gut bacteria help you to break food down. Okay, we call it your microbiome. Okay, um, your gut microbes, basically. So those are the healthy gut bacteria that helps to break the food down and to also synthesize different foods and transform it into different um, elements. For instance, whenever you consume seaweeds, seaweeds contain cobalt, right? And then the cobalt is going to get metabolized by the healthy gut bacteria and synthesized into vitamin B12. So when they tell you guys that, hey, you got to be eating beef and dead animals for vitamin B12, that's some bullshit. Okay? The plants contain everything that the body needs. Plants and the human body have a symbiotic relationship. That is the reason why you get your oxygen from plants. Common sense. Hello, wake up. You get oxygen from plants to live because the human body and plants naturally have a symbiotic relationship. Okay? So your healthy gut bacteria are very important for the synthesize, you see, and the breakdown of certain elements which transform it into something else that the body needs. Okay? So you have healthy gut bacteria. Now, what happens when you consume like pharmaceutical grade antibiotics? It destroys your gut bacteria. That's why a lot of people got terrible gut health. Okay? You got terrible gut health, the gut bacteria, they're destroyed by the antibiotics that you've been taking. Also, when you eat the chickens, like most of the farm-raised animals, they're injected with antibiotics because what? They don't naturally have an immune system. Hello? So they inject them farm animals with antibiotics, steroids, and growth hormones. What happens when you eat all of that chicken? Because what natural animal do you know that grows to full maturity in 6 weeks? You can't be this dumb. So all them Popeyes chicken you've been eating, okay? All the fried chicken wings, BBQs, all these places you go to buy chicken from, KFC, all that kind of stuff. Those are farm-raised cloned animals. What natural animal do you know that grows to full maturity in 6 weeks? Y'all are not serious. You're not living real life. You're not grounded in reality. The fact that you keep eating this shit for years, even though your health has gone down to almost nothing, and you're still buying this shit. You see, you're not grounded in reality. As I said, a lot of your adults, you're completely delusional. You're living in a artificial version of what reality. But anyway, moving forward. So when you eat those animals, farm-raised animals that are injected with the antibiotic also when you destroy your healthy gut microbes. So yes, if you're eating chicken, you're killing your immune system and you're killing all of your gut bacteria because the chicken was fed antibiotic, given the fact that it does not have a immune system. You see, a real chicken like an African jungle fowl or a real common fowl, when in Jamaica you find a St. Lucia and the Caribbean, then they're real fowl that run around. Notice that them the fowl they eat all gravel and them something there for break down their food and survive on them own because them have a natural immune system. You get what me I say? Them white chicken when I raise in a coop and I buy feed and fan, I put up light up in there and all them kind of something there. Real chicken, listen, real chicken fly up on tree at night time. Right? That's why the rooster they make nice early morning time. Then they jump back off on the ground and walk around go feed. Imagine, when eat chicken, when I put up light and put water and feeding in there, when you need to wake up. Okay? We not live real life. So the antibiotic from these farm-raised animals destroy your gut. So that's one of the reasons why you need to leave the meat alone, because it's destroying your gut health. Every disease starts first inside of your gut. Okay? Now, how do we restore your gut bacteria? Prebiotics and probiotics. We're gonna get to that. Okay. So here are the two major factors that we need to do to restore back your gut. Okay. We need to remove the parasites. Because again, also while you're eating them dead animals, you're introducing parasite larvae and parasite eggs to your gut. And they start to take over. And the first thing parasites do when they get inside your body, they start to secrete molecules to suppress your immune system. Okay? Then they start to lay a whole bunch of eggs and populate and start to control your cravings. That's why you can't stop consuming so much sugar. Why I think you've been consuming a whole bunch of sugar and more processed food, more processed food? It's the parasites making you do it. Okay? The parasites making you do it. So we need to relieve your constipation. We need to relieve your constipation and we need to clean out the gut. While we're cleaning out the gut, we want to do a parasite cleanse at the same time so we can kill the worms that are attached to the walls of the intestines and flush them out. Okay? Then we need to seal the lining of the intestines. We need to seal the lining of the intestines. So let me break it down to you so that you can understand. Let me see if we have a colon cleanse up here on display. Okay, so we don't have a colon cleanse on display. Well, let me look. Let me look. Okay, so we have a colon cleanse here. Let me see if we got some capsules. All right, colon cleansing capsules. Boom. Okay, let me see if we got any slippery and bark. Okay. Let me see if we got no slippery and bark up in here. Okay, so we got slippery and bark. Boom. And do I have any flaxseed? All right. Flaxseed is this is simple. Okay, flaxseed. Okay, good. Let's see if we have the tambourine left. All right, so we have tamarind. Oh, these smell good, actually. Feel like some I might have making some juice tonight. That smell good. So we have tamarind. Okay. All right. So this is the colon cleansing kit, which comes with the colon cleansing capsules. Parasite. I'm not sure if I'm having a parasite. I'm having a parasite teeth on display right now, but parasite capsules. Okay, we have parasite tea, but there's no label on these right now. Okay, so how would you actually start your cleanse, right? You start your cleanse by doing the colon cleanse and the parasite cleanse together, right? So this contains cascara sagrada, okay, and other herbs that are going to purify and cleanse out your intestines, okay? And it also contains the capsules as well that's going to clean out your gut. So these are laxative. They're also going to break up the fecal stone and the fecal sludges out of the pockets of the intestines. So you see all these kind of stuff that builds up into the walls of the intestine, like you can see it right here. Okay. You see all them residue and stuff that sticks on to the wall of the intestines. We're going to break up all of this stuff and pull it out. However, during the time that you're doing the colon cleanse and the parasite cleanse, I don't recommend you eating no animal products, no dairy products, no rice, no buns, no biscuit, no none of that. In fact, I'd rather you to do a fruit diet or a juice fast while you're cleansing out your intestines. Okay? So you're gonna do the colon cleansing kit and you're gonna also pair that up with a parasite cleansing kit. Okay? With the parasite cleansing kit, we're gonna be removing hookworm, tapeworms, flukeworms, pinworms, and yes, you're gonna see the parasites coming out into the toilet. Okay. Now, there's a different part of this that we also need to talk about in doing a proper colon and parasite cleanse. And as I said, doing them together is better than doing them separately because as you clean out your gut, you need to kill the parasites that are attached to the wall. Okay. Now, here's the thing. When parasites have been inside your body for quite a long time, they end up building something up we call a biofilm. A biofilm is a protective layer that parasite build up to shield themselves from any antibiotic or any kind of medication that you will take to eliminate them. So see, these things are very smart. Okay, they're not stupid. These are literally trying to hijack the body and hijack the consciousness. That's what the first thing that they did when they come inside of the body was they start to secrete molecules to suppress the immune system. Okay, these are very detrimental to your health. Do you know that 90% of all disease, or I would even say 99% of all disease, all involve parasites? These are the literal demons that the Bible talk about. Okay, they're parasites. They're literally demons. Anything that tries to control your cravings, okay, control your mind, basically, even cause sleep paralysis. A lot of people don't even know that parasites are also involved in sleep paralysis too. They cause nightmares. Like when you're doing a parasite cleanse, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if you have nightmares doing a parasite cleanse. Okay. They also make you depressed. Parasites also make you suicidal. They also make you overly sexual. So some of them people that you see, outside fucking everybody, and you'll be like, yo, this so promiscuous. It's parasites causing them to be like that. I'm not saying every single factor because some people just extra horny for some reason. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with them. But you see, parasites are always involved. And when we study the mechanism of parasites, basically parasites, they want to basically spread or move on, or what we say, expand their population to more and more people. For instance, like we can see that these days when they come on the internet, everybody is like so proud to tell us that they eat ass. Okay. Now, I don't know what have happened to the world as to why people believe that that should be a part of sex. Like that's just weird to me. Okay, but everybody else, again, it's all normal for them, and they're so proud of it that they have to let the world know. They're on social media every day saying that they're the best ass eaters. They want their ass, all this kind of stuff. This is not normal. So come to find out, parasites is what make people develop these kind of weird fetishes. Because I think by now everybody should know about the pinworm. So the pinworm, apparently what it does, it basically crawls out of the anus and lay a whole bunch of eggs at night while the person is sleeping, and then goes back inside. So that's why some people be having, like, you see them they keep itching their anal area. That's pinworms. So now imagine the other people who eat ass as a part of sex. You can see how they're actually eating all those pinworm eggs and digesting that into their gut, which then manifests as more, and the process end up prolonging and going and going and going and going and going. Some of y'all are laughing, but I'm not laughing. Okay? It goes to show the downward spiral of humanity, the fact that people have now make eating ass a part of sex. Sex was once something sacred. Something is really wrong with the people within society. They've been hijacked. Okay? So if you want to talk about aliens and demons, they're the parasites. Okay? They're the parasites. So these things are intelligent, and so they create something called a biofilm. The biofilm is a shield that they hide behind to basically protect themselves from destruction. So when you're doing a parasite cleanse, you also need to do a biofilm to break the biofilm down. Okay, break the biofilm down. Papaya seeds are so good because papaya seeds also break up the biofilm. So that's what we talk about when you're eating the papaya. Make sure you chew up at least 1 tablespoon of the seeds. It's gonna help to break up the biofilm, right? And there's certain herbs that disrupt and kill biofilm, right? Oregano oil kills biofilm. Clove oil kills biofilm. Black seed oil disrupt biofilm. Okay, those things disrupt biofilm. Garlic disrupt biofilm as well. Okay, but anyway, we have the biofilm breaker. Okay, that's gonna disrupt and kill those biofilms. As you can see here, that's how they build up the biofilm over the lining of the intestines. Okay, and this is going to destroy them. So once you break up the biofilm, now the whether the wormwood, whether the clove, the black walnut, you see, basically now it can actually get to work to kill the parasite. So if you've been basically doing parasite cleanse for a while and you're feeling like they keep coming back, it's because the eggs, you're not killing the eggs, and also the biofilm is inside that's protecting them. You need to break open the biofilm and kill them. Now here's the thing. When you break open the biofilm, you're gonna feel sick. Okay, and you're gonna also probably experience a lot of more parasite activity because now you've breaking open that fortress, and so now they start to move around, or you start to feel very sick because what? When you break up the biofilm, it releases a lot of waste because apparently under the biofilm, them parasites start to like release a lot of toxic waste underneath that area. So once you break it open, you're gonna need to be consuming activated charcoal. Okay, if you don't have activated charcoal, you can look into bentonite clay, but activated charcoal is going to be um, the best while doing a parasite cleanse. Okay. We also have activated charcoal. So activated charcoal. Now, how do you take the activated charcoal? You take the activated charcoal the next day. Okay, the next day. So let's just say you took your colon cleanse and your parasite cleanse today, right? And you took your oregano oil, which I do recommend. As I say, you guys need to take oregano oil while you're doing the cleanse. The next morning when you wake up, you're gonna take 1 teaspoon of activated charcoal in 16 ounces of water and you drink it. That's gonna bind up the dead parasites that you've killed. If you do not bind up the dead parasites, you're gonna feel sick. Okay, you're gonna feel sick, you're gonna feel weak, you're gonna have headaches, you're gonna feel very off. Because what? All of the parasites urine the parasite waste, the heavy metals, everything that was also trapped into the parasite and the biofilm is now released and it's going to make you sick. When you consume the activated charcoal as a powerful binder is now going to bind up all of that. Okay, it's going to bind up all of that and it's going to prevent that from actually be released into your body and pull it all the way out of your system. All right? Yeah. Okay. So colon cleanse, parasite cleanse, but you need a biofilm disruptor. Okay. Garlic, again, oregano oil, black seed oil, those disrupt biofilms. Okay. All right. So now that you've actually purged out, you see the worms are coming out, right? So you see the worms are coming out, biofilms is coming out, parasite eggs is coming out. You're taking your activated charcoal and everything is coming out, right? Everything is coming out. Now, keep in mind that you also need to restore back your healthy gut. Um, you need to restore back your healthy gut bacteria, right? So we're gonna need some probiotics. So kombucha is gonna be good. Kimchi is gonna be good. Sauerkraut is gonna be good. Let me see if I have any sauerkraut that I can show you what mine look like. Okay, it's too far away, but the fermented cabbage. We're basically put together the fermented cabbage with cayenne pepper. Okay, so this is my sauerkraut. Okay, and this is spring water, sea salt, cayenne pepper, garlic, and cabbage, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Okay, and it's been in there for a long time. Okay, it's been in there for a long time. So now all I need is 1 tablespoon of this water, basically, right? And I can eat a little bit of the fermented cabbage, and that is going to also restore back my healthy gut bacteria as a probiotic. Now, keep in mind that your appendix, okay, so your appendix actually stores a certain amount of your healthy gut bacteria inside of your gut. So when you're consuming like a probiotic or a prebiotic, you're just reculturing. You're somewhat just eating the kind of foods that are reculturing back your healthy gut bacteria so that they can start to expand back and populate again so that you can have proper healthy digestion. So if you ever wonder what's the purpose of your appendix, it stores the healthy gut bacteria so that the body can repopulate. So the human body is super, super intelligent. So kombucha is good as a probiotic. Sauerkraut, good as a probiotic. And kimchi is good as a probiotic. Okay? Yeah, basically. wait, wait. Somebody say what? Somebody say it looks nasty. Well, hey, I don't know what to tell you. You want to be healthy or not? You want to be healthy or not? Mm, all right. How about apple cider vinegar? So apple cider vinegar also help you to break down biofilm. Okay, so apple cider vinegar is going to help you to break down biofilm. Okay, it's not really like a probiotic, right? Yeah. So I'm going to get into a few things here that helps you to restore your gut health. Now we talk about the tamarind juice. The tamarind juice gonna bind up the heavy metals. Also chlorophyll. Okay, we have the chlorophyll powder. I do recommend for you to get into that as well. We can put back a sauerkraut right now because we see it already. All right, where is the chlorophyll powder? Where is the chlorophyll powder? Also, guys, we have the clove capsule again, right? So remember last time the clove was so strong. that it was like breaking the capsules. So we end up getting some stronger capsules. So we got the clove capsules again. Okay. Yeah, we got clove capsules again. So I'm trying to find the chlorophyll powder for y'all. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. All right, so this is the chlorophyll powder. Okay, you can find this on the website as well. So the chlorophyll powder and also the tamarind. The tamarind is going to help with your intestines as well. As you can tell, the tamarind is shapes just like how your intestinal lining shapes. I think I was break open that one right there. Okay. So I want you to see the similarity. Look at that. Okay. Do you see how they look? Yeah. Okay. So tamarind juice, good for your intestines, right? Yellow dragon fruits, great for your intestines as well. So make sure note down tamarind, yellow dragon fruit, chlorophyll powder, very very powerful. And this chlorophyll powder have it have chlorella, it has spirulina, okay. It has kelp in there too, okay. It has alfalfa in there too, and so many more. Okay, very very powerful. It's gonna give you energy as well. So if you're working out at the gym, okay, this is gonna be great for you. Okay, it also contains all the minerals that you need: calcium, iron, phosphorus, iodine for the thyroid gland, literally all the vitamin B12, okay, potassium, zinc, copper, selenium, everything inside of it. Okay, so all you need is 1 teaspoon. What's 1 teaspoon of it in water or your smoothie and shake it up and you're good to go. That's literally all you need. Okay, literally. And you can just blend it like with 1 dates if you want it to be more like sweeter. You can put like 1 teaspoon of it in whatever water, put like a dates or 2 dates if you want to sweeten it up, and perfection. Okay. All right. So, okay, here's the top foods for intestinal health. Okay, the fermented cabbage, which is called sauerkraut, rich in live probiotics, feeds gut bacteria and reduces inflammation. So what I just shown you with the cabbage is that's called sauerkraut. Okay, you just fermented cabbage for a long period of time. So it's rich live probiotics. It's gonna feed the healthy gut bacteria again, right? So when you look at the appendix, okay, when you look at the appendix contain the natural gut bacteria that you were born with. So now when you consume the probiotics, okay, it helps to repopulate. So let's just say that the the healthy gut bacteria that's stored inside of here can now start to populate, and they start to populate the whole entire intestines again, and you're able to absorb nutrients and everything returns back to normal, and it restores back your gut flora. Okay, so sauerkraut, you need that. Kimchi. Okay, now I like kimchi. In fact, I haven't had kimchi in a minute, but I really, really like kimchi. Powerful probiotic, anti-inflammatory, support gut lining. Okay. Then we have kombucha, fermented tea with enzymes and probiotics that aids digestion. Next, high fiber foods. We talk about foods that are high in fiber that you're gonna need to restore back your gut lining. Okay. So chia seeds, okay, soluble fiber, feeds good bacteria, soothe the intestinal lining. Flax seeds, okay? Lubricate intestines, reduce inflammation, promotes regularity. As you can see, I have a nice thing of flaxseed here. This is like my favorite. I really, really like this. Okay, really, really do. So this is my flaxseed. Okay. All right. Lentils, high in prebiotic fiber that feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Then chickpeas, feeds good bacteria, reduce bloating and digestive discomfort. Okay. Now we're going over to the vegetables. Okay. Garlic, powerful prebiotic and antimicrobial, kills bad gut bacteria. Onions, okay, like the red onions. Yep, those are nice. Rich in inulin fiber, feeds good bacteria, reduce gut inflammation. Okay. Now, sweet potato, rich in fiber and antioxidants that heals the gut lining. Now move down. Bananas. Now I recommend the burro bananas or the baby bananas. Those are the ones that I recommend. Okay. So with bananas, prebiotic fiber feeds good bacteria and soothe the intestinal walls. Papaya contains papain enzymes, yes, that breaks down food and reduce bloating. We know papaya is amazing, especially when it comes to removing biofilm as well. Blueberries, antioxidant, protect gut lining, reduce intestinal inflammation. Avocados, healthy fats and fiber that supports smooth digestion. Okay, then we have sea moss that contain a ton load of minerals. Okay, so it says the minerals coats and soothe the intestinal wall, feeds good bacteria, supports full gut repair. Okay, but keep in mind that if you're getting the chlorophyll powder, okay, you don't need to get anything else because it contains majority of the seaweeds combined in there already. Okay? Okay. Basically. Yeah. So those are pretty much all you need to get your gut health back. Okay? Stay hydrated, of course. Chew your food slowly. Avoid processed food, refined sugars, alcohol. Okay? Because alcohol also destroys good bacteria out of your body. I know a lot of y'all every weekend you're up into the club screaming Don Julio and Hennessy. Yeah, you're killing yourself. Congratulations. You're killing your kidneys and you're killing your healthy gut bacteria. Then when you get sick, you want to act like you don't know what happened. Then you run into the doctor for help, and the doctor just there for your money and to turn you into a permanent customer. Okay? Drug you out. So there you go. Right? So now you understand how to do the proper cleansing. I also recommend getting some senna. Okay, senna as well. If you type the number six, if you tap the number six and you get the 20% discount code off, you will see that it tells you to also get the slippery and bark, get the senna and so forth. That's going to help you cleansing out your intestines. All right. Now, why do we need the slippery and bark? Let me break it down for you. So, the worms inside of your intestines, when they're inside of your intestines, right? They're attached to the walls of your intestines to take your nutrients. Okay, use the senna and the colon cleanse, yeah. But keep in mind, say that listen, when you put the senna and the colon cleanse together, you're not gonna go outside. Okay, you can't go outside, you can't go to work. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be explosive. Okay. So use the senna with the colon cleanse, but you know that you're at home or in the weekend, you're not going anywhere. Right? And okay, and here's the thing about the senna. You're not gonna boil the senna. Okay, I don't want you to boil the senna. I want you to put 3 tablespoons of the senna in a mason jar, pour some spring water on it, and close it up and just put it down on the counter. Let it stay there for the next 3 hours. Then I want you to pour it out, water off, and drink it. And take it with the colon cleanse, capsules and teas, and watch what happens. Okay? It's gonna be the most powerful cleanse of your life. I guarantee you that. Okay? Yeah. Uh-huh. No going outside. All right. So here's the thing, Trap. So for instance, like the tapeworms, right? The tapeworms and the flukeworms, they attach to the walls of your intestines when they're inside of your body. So what do you think happened when you kill them? Okay, when you come through and you kill them, they release and the body flushes them out. But guess what? You see the area which they were attached to on the walls of your intestine? That's now like it's basically it's gonna leave like an open wound because it's no different from when like an insect when an insect is biting into something, it's literally piercing into your flesh. You see? So once it's removed, it leaves an open wound in that area. That area is going to be inflamed where the parasites was attached to the intestine because they were literally biting into the walls of the intestine. So once they let go because they die, those area is now a wound, an open wound. So you're gonna find that now your intestine is gonna be inflamed. And if you take stuff like cayenne pepper, stuff that very spicy, your stomach start to hurt you. Okay? Now you're like in pain because what? You feel a burn. So once you remove parasites from the intestines, you need to seal the intestinal lining. You need to soothe the intestinal lining. That's where you're gonna use this slippery elm bark. Okay, the flax seeds, the chia seeds, right? The okra water. You can cut up the okra, pour water on it, and allow that slimy water. Okay, that slimy looking water, that's good for your digestive tract because it's going to soothe the irritation. And this is something that you must do while doing an intensive parasite cleanse because once those parasites are detached from the walls of the intestine, the area they were attached to is going to be inflamed. You need to soothe it. Okay? Soothe it. Slippery and bark, again, okay? Flax, chia seeds, the okra water, even aloe vera too. Like if you don't mind the bitterness of it, you can cut it up and you can drink it. Yeah, that'll soothe the walls of your intestines. If you're dealing with irritable bowel syndrome, if you're dealing with leaky gut, you're going to need slippery and bark. All right? Yeah. Now, do you guys have any question for me regarding the intestines? I want to make sure before we even move on. Okay? Want to make sure before we even move on. So, what question do you have for me regarding the intestines? Now, for everybody on YouTube, YouTube doesn't allow me to see the comment section. So, if you're asking question over on YouTube and I'm not responding, it's because I can't see nothing over on YouTube. All right. How long is the cleanse for? So, the cleanse is going to bring you into around 3 weeks. Once that is done, I recommend for you to continue and do a second run of the cleanse. Okay. So once you've done with a colon cleanse and a parasite cleanse and a lymphatic cleanse, then you're gonna move on to do a liver cleanse, a blood cleanse, and a kidney cleanse. But first, we have to start with the major eliminative pathways and organs. It's gonna be your colon. It's gonna be your lymph. Okay. The parasite cleanse will also last you 3 weeks. Also, keep in mind that whenever you boil the herbs, don't throw them out. So when you make tea for the first time, save that herb and put it inside of a bag and put it in the refrigerator. When you make another batch, then take that herb, that leftover herb, with the first batch of herb and put it into one and boil it to remove the remaining medicine out of it. Okay, that's what I do with mine. Let me see if I can show you an example. An example. Okay. So for instance, this is a bag. This is a bag that I have with my herbs in it. Okay, so when I make my teas, I put it in the bag, put it in the refrigerator, and after around 2 times of making teas, this is around three though. This is around three. So now I can pour all of this back out into a pot and put it around half gallon of water and bring it to a boil and just let it cool down and strain it off and pull out the remaining out of it. So don't throw away your herbs after using it for just one time. Okay? So this have like elderberry, burdock in there, chaparral, and all kind of stuff in there. Guaco, blue vervain. So I'm gonna put everything back into a pot with half gallon of water, and then I'm going to pull the remaining out of it. Okay. Yeah. So the parasite cleanse capsule should bring you around 3 weeks as well. Mm-hmm. Can I also reuse for Damiana? Yeah, for sure. Is aloe vera good for the lining? So aloe vera have that slimy like consistency. Anything that have more like a mucilage, that slimy mucilageous consistency, that's going to soothe the intestinal lining. So like okra water, the aloe vera, the nopal cactus, like the flax seeds, anything that give you a slimy like a sea moss is going to help with the intestinal lining because because basically it's soothing. Okay, cilantro tincture as a binder is effective. No, cilantro as a tincture is like a joke. Get the cilantro and juice the cilantro. Okay, extract the cilantro while it's green. Remember, chlorophyll is the most powerful heavy metal detoxifier because chlorophyll binds the heavy metals and make them soluble and pull them out of the body. Okay, so get the cilantro in its fresh green form, and then you want to run it through your juicer with some cucumber and some dandelion greens and some parsley. It's gonna work way better than a tincture. A tincture is a joke when it comes to cilantro. Don't waste your money on that. You need a high concentration to do the job. You know. Okay, how can you tell if you're getting rid of biofilm and parasites? Check the toilet. Okay, you check the toilet. Now I know for a lot of people you know maybe you're gonna find, oh, that's disgusting, but listen, it's coming out of your own body. Okay, check the toilet. Okay, maybe you have to get like a piece of stick or something to move it around to see, but you will see the worms because a lot of times the parasite they sink to the bottom. Okay, and the biofilm you're gonna see the biofilm. It's gonna look like tiny like basically what it look like is like a flat kind of like a hard material basically, and you'll see pieces and pieces of biofilm because when you're breaking out the biofilm, it's gonna come out into like broad pieces of like a flat hardened material. That's the biofilm. Okay, but always monitor your stool to see what's coming out and how much is coming out. That's also one way how you can tell that you want to keep continue doing the parasite cleanse because let's say that you're on the 3 weeks where the parasite cleanse is finishing, right? But you're using the bathroom and a whole bunch of parasites and biofilm is still coming out. You want to continue. So you got to check your stool. Oh, Bella asked a good question. Okay, so once we take the colon cleanse, how long after do we take the gut soothers? 1 week after we start with the gut soothers. Okay? Because while you're doing while you're doing the colon cleanse, if you take the gut soothers and then you end up taking the parasite cleanse the next day and a colon cleanse, they flush everything right back out. Okay, so you can do the gut soothers on week 2. So you're doing the colon and a parasite cleanse, right? For the first week. And then after that, you sort of take the gut soothers basically to soothe the lining. Okay, so you're like removing, soothing, flushing, replenishing. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's nasty. Yes, it is, but it's what's inside of your body. It has to come out. It has to come out. Hmm. It has to come out. Will one parasite cleansing kit last for 3 weeks? Yes. Okay, Bella said, I got the colon, I got the blood colon cleansing kit. Um, okay, Bella, here's what. Um, send me a mailing address. I got you. I feel like a whole new person after parasite cleanse. Absolutely. Absolutely. Literally. I don't think people understand how much parasite really like it weighs down your mental, your physical, and also your spiritual. Literally, when you do a parasite cleanse, it's like weight have been lifted up off of you. You have so much more clarity, so much more energy. You feel so much more balanced and like yourself because you don't have something inside of you like going against your whole entire systems, weakening your immune system, controlling your cravings, controlling your thoughts and your feelings. So yeah, you are gonna feel like you're a whole different person. These things are literally demons. They're hijackers. How soon into the cleanse with the parasite comes out? Normally in a couple of days, but generally after around 3 to 4 days, give it like a week for them to start to come out. Really, because if you've had parasites for like a long time and they're like a strong biofilm, they're hiding by like a thick layer of biofilm. May take a couple of days to where before that biofilm matrix start to break and they start to come out. But yeah, but that's why I say that I recommend not eating the foods that supports them, okay, and eat all the foods that parasites don't like, basically. Do you swallow the papaya seeds or chew them? You need to chew them, then swallow them. Okay, so you chew the papaya seeds and then you're gonna swallow the papaya seeds. Mm-hmm. What can help me sleep better? Because I'm always tired. So on our website, we have the calming mist. Look for the calming mist. It's gonna make you sleep. Aside from that, you can use valerian root. You can use chamomile. Okay, valerian root, or you can use chamomile. I really recommend the juice fast. If you're doing a colon and a parasite cleanse, I really recommend. Basically, it makes the cleanse more intensified. Okay, how would I do this cleanse for my 5-year-old son, dosage wise, and could it cure autism? Okay, got it. So we don't really use the word cure because that belongs to Big Pharma. But you will find that by parasite and heavy metal cleansing your child, they will come back to normal. We have many parents that have heavy metal and parasite cleanse their child, and they come back to a certain level of normalcy. Okay, they definitely improve their focus, their concentration, their behavior. Okay, so for a 5-year-old, okay, basically just give them one capsule, one parasite capsule morning, evening. Okay, or you can also apply it to the bottom of their feet before they go to bed. Okay, so for instance, like clove oil, you know, can be applied to the bottom of their feet before they go to bed. I would say book a consultation with me. Book a consultation with me, and I can basically give you a whole entire protocol for a small child. Day 15 of a 60-day fast right now. That is beautiful. Anything for kids? Yeah, the same parasite cleansing, darling. Same parasite cleanses. Parasites hates bitters. They hate spices. They love sugar. They love dairy products. They love animal products. They love starch. You see, so if your diet is not starchy or full of sugar, then naturally you're weakening them. Okay. All right. So I have a book here on parasites. Let's see what he has to say. Let's go through a little bit about parasites really, really quick. Really, really quick. All right. So roundworm. Okay, so roundworms have different known species by name. They are ascara, common worm, and hookworms, basically. Okay, whipworms, pinworms. Okay, symptoms to look for when roundworms are involved: grinding of the teeth at night, intestinal gas, allergies, asthma, snoring, digestive disturbance, anemia, restlessness, weight gain around full moon, sometimes 7 to 8 pounds. This parasite is common around the world, especially in um, it says 25% of people in the world are thought to be infected. In the southern parts of the US, up to 64% of the people may carry this parasite. It is most commonly where there are areas of poor sanitation. These worms are large, about the size of a pencil. Humans may be infected with many worms at one time. Okay? The infection begins with the ingestion of the eggs, which are usually presented, right, in animal products, fast food products, just like you guys love to go to them fast food place to eat animals, right? Basically. Boom, 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 boom. So let me skip to this book really quick though. Let me see if I can find some solution for you. Okay. Okay, it says try wormwood combination with black walnut leaves. Okay. Black walnut leaves, the leaves of the black walnut. You know what? I'm gonna add the black walnut leaf to my website too. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add the black walnut leaf to the website. Okay. So black walnut leaves, okay, cloves, male fern, and it says give someone with worms as much garlic as they can stand. Then 2 days later, give a laxative. Have them sit. Oh, this is interesting. So okay, so they're talking about also like using milk as a way to get like people who have like a lot of pinworms. But yeah, it says give the person as much garlic as possible, then give them a laxative 2 days later. I'm not gonna go into the other aspect of this because there's a lot of other different stuff. Okay, hookworm. This disease has been focus of much medical attention. Formerly has been seen major disease in the southeastern US. It is most common in warmer, humid region. It is a disease marked by blood loss. These worms drink a large amount of blood each day. People with this parasite show signs of anemia and malnutrition. It says during part of the worm's life cycle, these tiny worms must survive as a free living worm. Damn, that's crazy. So yeah, so we know that people that have sickle cell is also caused by parasites. Okay, sickle cell is not normal. Okay, anemia and sickle cell is not normal. What's going on with your blood? Something is feeding off of your red blood cells. So yeah, toxoplasma gondii. But try it. Here's what I want you to understand. 90% of all disease involve parasites. Okay, so parasite cleanse is going to be very, very important for you to do. Okay, very, very important for you to do. Do parasite cleanse. Okay, Bella said, can you tell us how to use the turpentine? Damn. Okay, so the turpentine is very, very strong. Okay, it's very, very strong, and you have to use a little bit of the turpentine to how strong it is. So the way how you use the turpentine is you mix the turpentine with castor oil. Okay, so you're not supposed to take more than 1 tablespoon of the turpentine. That's how strong it is. Okay, so you'd mix 1 tablespoon of the turpentine, right, with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and you consume that basically. I mean, you can put it into like orange juice or whatever. Just do 1 tablespoon of the olive of the castor oil, not olive oil, castor oil. What am I saying? 1 tablespoon of the castor oil and 1 tablespoon of the turpentine. Now, if it's your first time using turpentine, I wouldn't even recommend 1 tablespoon. I would say 1 teaspoon and see how your body move to it. The first time when I took turpentine, I was so high. Okay, this stuff make you high. Like I'm talking about like really, really high, like super high. Like you think that you smoke a pound of weed or some shit. Okay, so then I had to realize that okay, let me tone down on it, making me too high, right? But it's very, very powerful. This is turpentine. Okay, now turpentine has been used to obliterate every type of a cancer. If you know anything about Dr. Danielle work, she was a American physician, okay, a MD, and after years, she kind of realized that her patients are dying and that the medical system was not really helping. So she started looking into homeopathic remedies, into into naturopathic ways and means, and come across that turpentine has been using for thousands of years to heal just about everything. And she started to use the turpentine on her patients, all of her cancer patients, and all of them was healed. Okay, the medical system revoked her medical license, and then they list her as a terrorist. Okay, so she had to leave America and like leave America immediately, and she been living in Panama ever since. Okay, so we're talking. So again, this is what the system does. Anybody who finds any means or ways to actually help people, they're gonna demonize you and label you as something very sinister. So can you imagine that people who goes to Google and type in these kind of people's name and gonna truly really believe? Like if you look at what's this lady name that I really like her? Um, Barbara O'Neill. I like Barbara O'Neill. Okay, she's very knowledgeable. But if you go to Google and type in Barbara O'Neill, like they're gonna tell you some crazy stuff. Or this lady share harmful information about health. She's a quack. All this kind of stuff. That's what they do. Now I have a book here called The Grape Cure by Joanna Brandt. A lot of y'all are familiar with this book by now. And if you read this book, you will see that in the early 1920s, they used grapes alone to heal every type of a cancer that exists. Every type. Just seeded grapes alone by itself. She then came to America because she thought that, oh, the physicians here was going to be so happy that there's a breakthrough. They found something that can heal everybody of cancer. Only to be confronted with the rude awakening that they shunned her. They was not looking for no cure. There's too much money in cancer for them to want to find any means. Okay? So they shunned her, like get the fuck out of here, basically. So there was one physician, because like not every doctor is evil or bad. Okay, you're gonna have one, probably have one good person out of 100, right? And he decided to give her a chance, like to listen to her methods and what she've discovered. And so what they did, they end up taking people that were sent to hospice. Kind of like when people do like chemotherapy and different procedures, and they're like, "Oh, nothing we can do for you anymore. You only got 3 to 6 months to live," and they send all them people at home to die. They basically took all those people and had them fast and only consume 1 to 2 pound of seeded grapes every day, nothing else. And these people didn't have any objection to the process because it's like they're already told that they're gonna die. So at this point, they're willing to try anything. You see, so it's not the case where you gotta be like calling somebody, be like, "Hey, did you fast? Are you still on the fast? Did you like like I gotta be fighting with a lot of y'all just for your own health because you don't love yourself." Apparently, when a person realized that, oh, they're really about to enter through death door, all of a sudden now they're willing to do anything. But before, they wasn't taking shit serious, right? So they took all the people that were sent to hospice and have them fast on seeded grapes. And every last one of them heal from cancer 100%. Every last one of them. Okay? So this book is called The Grape Cure by Joanna Brand. It's cheap. It's like $15 on Amazon. Or you can join our Discord. Join my Discord. Click the link in my bio, right? And join my Discord. And you can go to the PDF book section and download these books for free. Okay? Now, if you go to Google and you type in Joanna Brand, they're gonna tell you that she was a spy, she was this evil person. That is what they do. Anybody who comes up with a solution to try to help, they demonize the person. It's no difference from what they're actually doing to me. I got 1 million followers and nobody can see my content. Literally, they banned me from Facebook, shadow ban on Instagram, 2 TikTok accounts, almost 100K followers on TikTok. They deleted. Am I sharing any information on there that's bad or violating community standards? Apparently, being here with y'all and getting healthy together is a violation to community standards. So, whatever this community standard is, I don't want to live in that community. Imagine that. Listen, if we can't share information about eating healthy and cleansing our system because that's a violation to community standard, and what kind of community are they creating? I sure don't want to live in that community. You see? So again, anybody at all that shows up with a solution to this disease predicament that we've been going through for a long time or been under, they start basically